welcome to this edition of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, and the other host is my brother Jaquari Armstrong and Damon Armstrong. We got special guests tonight. Two of them are here right now. The other two are on their way. Uh, Antoine Mosley and Judah Logan.
So how y'all
Thank
doing?
you guys. Thank you for
What's
coming.
going on?
The other guys are coming on is Keith Armstrong Jr. and also David Davis. They'll be on directly.
All right.
Jaquari, how you doing today, brother?
I'm fair, man. I'm fair. I can't complain about nothing. Everything is in its correct position at this moment.
Okay. Damon, how are you today, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Blessed, man. Still in the fight.
Still in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Judah, how are you today? And welcome to you, brother. How are you today?
Welcome.
I'm good. Thank you for having me. My day was good. I feel motivated. Thanks for having me on the show. You know, just ready to keep going.
Okay. Antoine, Julio, Hardaway, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing awesome, fam. I'm doing awesome.
Welcome
Thanks for
back,
asking.
man. Welcome back.
Man. It's always a pleasure.
Okay. So I'm gonna do some housekeeping. You know what I mean? And basically what I want to do is really reinforce what Strong Perspective Podcast is about. It's about having conversation with people that we see everyday people. See, everyday people, there's celebrities, there's different things like that, and but really and truly, everyday people are the sorts that make the world go around, that help us to be who we're going to be, how we're going to be. We're the glue. We are the glue. Some of us are a little more famous than others. Some of us have a little bit more responsibility than others, but really and truly, we're all the same. Today is a special show for us because really and truly, we were sitting around talking about it. These four gentlemen we got on today, they pretty much, have been working toward their own dream. And on our little small platform, and I know my brothers will agree with me with this, we want to try to give as much as we can to the people who we feel as though we can give support to. Okay? So
Appreciate that.
these folks, I know I've admired from afar. You know what I mean? I've known Julio for a long time, and he's always been a very introspective thinking person, and I've always enjoyed that about him. Judah's always had it together, always been one of them type of young men that's really and truly been crystal clear in his direction, I believe. And I'm on the outside looking in. But I've always felt as though, especially when I found out that he started his own clothing line, I really and truly respect that about it. My son
I
Keith.
appreciate all that.
Oh yeah, my son Keith. Hey, basketball player. He got to fulfill the dream that we both had to play professional basketball. He played overseas, and then he made the turn into what he felt was his calling, and that's clothing. And the funny thing about it is, he don't know I am proud of him for making that decision and trying to become his own boss. Is that a good word?
Mm-hmm.
Really and truly, I think it's more independence. You feel me? David and Keith are the same age, and it is crazy that they thought about doing it at the same time without talking to each other. So I definitely wanted to use this platform and use myself and my brothers and really and truly listen to these young people's perspective and try to support their journey as best we can. So, as we're waiting for David and Keith, what we'll do, we'll start with you, Julio. We'll give you the opportunity to tell us about you, tell us about your business, and have at it, brother.
Well, of course I'm Hardaway's, and I'm the creator and all of that good stuff. But my aspirations of a t-shirt business has been something that I always had when I was, from a youngster. I used to draw a lot, um, but somewhere along the lines, like I lost the interest or whatever. But the one thing that I didn't lose is um, my innate uh, grab that I have towards people in their lives. Like my girl, she'll tell you, like, I sit around and I watch all these different documentaries on people's lives, and how they got where they are. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole base point from Hardaway. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's that zero to success, that dash in between zero to success. Um, the stuff that you had to go through. Like the dark times. Not for a person to look at Hardaway and start reflecting on all of the bad stuff, because it's not about the hard times. It's about that hard win. You know what I'm saying? Like when you accomplish something, it ain't got nothing to do with being famous. It ain't got nothing to do with being rich. It's just about you overcoming something that you faced in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go into the beginning of the Bible, and in chapter 1, when God talking about his creations, it started in the dark. You know what I'm saying? And then he said, "Let there be light." You know what I'm saying? So like that's where we start at. And that's what pretty much um where I kind of like get, the thing from wanting to do the Hardaway thing.
Okay. Okay. So can you tell me exactly uh, your overall impression from the beginning? How did it feel from the beginning and who are your customer base when you first started off?
That's interesting. I mean, that's a good question. Um, from the start, you know what I'm saying? Like, how I ended up coming up with the whole concept behind it. Um, we had the conversation, but the other people haven't. Um, when I had the job and I was trying to get promoted, and I was looking at all of the things that the team leaders and every all the stuff they pulling in with new trucks, they taking their family on vacations, and I wanted to do the same thing. But when I went to that job, I came in that job for business. You know what I'm saying? That was my whole thing when I came in there. So like when they wouldn't promote me, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I want these things too. And I said in my mind, I said, forget it. I'm like, shoot, I'm used to getting it the harder way. you
Okay.
know. And then that's how I came up with it. I'm like, hard way. And then that night when I got off work, when I went home, I pulled up my phone, downloaded the app, and I started making um all my logos. And then for the second part of the question, my audience. When I decided to do this, like me myself, I like inspiring people. You know what I'm saying? I like uh giving people that nudge. You know what I'm saying? I find um I'm happy. I get happy. Like if I'm not in like not feeling myself, I'm gonna help somebody do something. You know what I'm saying? So like for all of the viewers, I got a question for y'all. When you go to church and that preacher be talking, how many of y'all be thinking like the preacher talking directly at you? You know, like soon as he started talking, everybody like he talking to me. No, he just making a broad conversation that everybody can relate to. And that's what I wanted to do with Hardaway. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to make it something broad where everybody can relate to it because everybody need that extra push. You know what I'm saying? Everybody need a trophy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody need that experience. You know, so like my whole thing about it is when it ain't even really about me selling the shirts. It's about me helping other people. You know what I'm saying? Like sooner or later, when I get everything going, like I got my camera back there, I'm about to start interviewing people that that's got their own businesses. You know what I'm saying? That's probably like a drug addict. How you got off drugs? You know what I'm saying? How did you get to where you at? How did you get to your happy place? You know what I'm saying? So like that's my whole thing, you know. And then like I want to put this out there to the world because they say if you can't, you're not going to live forever. So create something that will. So if I got my stuff on Facebook, I got it on Instagram, I got it on YouTube. Especially like my kids can go back to that and be like, "What would Dad do in this situation?" You know what I'm saying? They can go back and then they can look at these videos and see how certain stuff happened. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I target my audience. It ain't no specific person because everybody got something that they going through.
Okay. I feel that. I feel that, brother. You know what I mean? Just everybody have a different purpose. Before we get to you, Judah, welcome, Keith Armstrong. I'm glad you can join us.
What's up, nephew?
What's up,
What's
man?
going on?
What's up, cuz?
Judah, let's start
How
with
you
you.
doing?
All right. You know, talk about what got you started, what motivates you. Talk about
Hmm.
your business. Talk about exactly any product that, any design that's your favorite. You know, just have at it, sir.
Got it. First thing first, I just want to say I appreciate y'all for having me again. All the kind of things you said in the beginning. But the name of my brand is Stardust. Stardust mean a lot to me, honestly, because it came from what it sounded like a star in the dust. You know, I'm from Philly. So growing up around a lot of BS in Philly is like a storm to a certain point. And you gotta, like he just said, you gotta go through a lot of dark times to see the sun, to get to them star moments and everything. So I started my brand when I was I came up with the idea when I was 11th grade. To even get into fashion was I went from playing basketball in middle school, and I had stopped playing basketball, so I had to figure out my next step. And me and my friends had came up with an idea to start a clothing line. My first name was called UAU, underrated and unappreciated. We came up with the idea, and that was my first thought ever of like selling clothes. And I love the idea so much that we never really came through with it together. But a year go by later, I had brought the idea to my dad, and my dad was just telling me, he like, you can be a star in the dust, blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's what I'm gonna make my name. I'm gonna call that, start my brand called Stardust, and along with that, and that's what I'm doing with it so far. And the slogan is "We come from dust." It's my website, WeComeFromDust.com. I mean, we all from dirt. God made us from dirt. That's where we literally come from. So if you can relate to that, we can relate to the movement. And I'm more than just a clothing line too. Like I'm a brand. Stardust gonna be known for like a lot of other things than just selling clothes, and it's gonna be like a movement for real. We do a lot of community work down here in Philly. We uh, free homeless, give out food, give out merch out, and do a lot of community work. So it's bigger than just selling clothes and getting money off of it. But other than that, it was I'm just running. It was a lot of inconsistency in the beginning. So I'm like 4 years into it now. I'm 21, so I've been doing it for like 4 years now. But I feel like the last 2 years is when I've been consistent and I've been actually seeing progress and I'm sticking to it. So my favorite designs been like out of the brand I've been doing, got to be like this year. I had to drop these sweatsuits with the new logos, and it's like this kind of. It's a well, it's something on the back, and it be catching a lot of people's eyes. I never did no logos on the back. I always was basic kind of like front vibes. Yeah. Other than that, we just pushing forward.
Okay. it's a good this is a good beginning for both you guys. And before I go to you, Keith, what um what I want to do is acknowledge who's on. Nisi, Aunt Nisi, how you doing? Welcome. You know,
So I need you.
is this Gant on
Yeah.
here? What's going on, man? How you doing, brother?
What's up, G Money?
Willie Davis, how are
Gang.
you, sir?
No, just
All
speaking.
right. Now, who's on here? Hardaway, somebody acknowledge you, man.
Oh, that my son on there, White. That's my
Okay,
son right there.
okay.
Yeah, that's his
Well,
oldest son.
acknowledge him, then, my
Yeah,
guy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You see the
yeah,
comments now. Hey guys, feel
yeah.
free. If you see somebody that you familiar with and you want to shout them out, shout them out. Because this is what we're
Hey,
doing. You know, because we're doing this a little different because usually we have a theme, but guess what? You guys are the theme. We want to push you guys as much as we can. So, with that being said, um, Keith, welcome to you, man.
What's going on, y'all? Can y'all
What's
hear me?
going
Uh,
on, nephew?
What's up, bro?
uh, you know, give us your 5 minutes of who you are, what you represent, and what motivated you.
Uh, let's see. So, starting back in 2017, uh, um, no, I'll say 16. Starting back in 2016, before I went off to play for my professional career, um, my mom got me for my graduation from college. She got me a MacBook that I'm on right now, and because I was into graphic design. That's what my majors, two of my majors. I did communications, interpersonal media studies, and I also did graphic design. And so I needed a computer, and my mom was able to get that for me. And I had Adobe Illustrator and was Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Premiere Pro. And so the reason, when I got it, I didn't use it at first until I actually got to Italy when I actually I needed necessarily to actually record my games, actually make my film because they weren't doing that for me. And it actually, led down a road of me actually using the other two programs, Photoshop and Illustrator, um, to, just create while I had spare time while I was still playing. And from that moment forward, I created my logo, Kibo, the guy behind us. That guy, I made him, and he was, nothing but circles and lines at the time. And I just stuck with it. I just enjoyed how he looked, and I felt like it represented me. And I say, years, throughout that year and the year after, I was just putting him in different situations. My motto for him was, Kibo is everywhere, and and so I'll put him with, relatable celebrities or other cartoon characters, things that might get me in trouble, but at the same time it was still fun. I just thought it was just a dope concept at the time, and it got me to a point where I got recognized, for the other artwork that I, put him in, that wasn't copyrighted. And at that time, I had my dad was there for my showcase. I had, put up digital prints uh, of Kibo is in different abstract different designs, and I needed something to wear, so I put them on my shirt, and people loved the shirt, and I'm like, oh, okay, so you like the clothes, and so I think that's another avenue I should get into. And so from that moment forward, from 2018 until now, I've been just focusing on clothes. That's the short. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, what I want to do while we're waiting on David is I want to really reinforce what I was talking about earlier because, you know, me personally, and this is a selfish part of me when I say this. When I have a family member who's involved in something, no matter what it is, I'm going to throw my support towards them as much as I possibly can. If I have a friend that's trying to do something, I'm going to do the same thing. Now, am I pointing a finger at anybody who's watching this or anybody who I think is not supporting? No. What I'm saying to you is this. You kind of owe it to at least throw a little support. You know what kind of support you should do? What really the most easy thing to do is spread the word. You have a group of friends. You have people in your life that you could go to and like, listen, I got family doing this. I have this, and I think you should do this. Why don't you go ahead and support? You feel what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. That's only gonna take 30 seconds. You feel me? That's only gonna take 30 seconds worth of conversation with somebody who listens to you anyway. You think I'm trying to browbeat you? No, I'm speaking the absolute truth about this. This is why we were so happy to bring these young men on here because first and foremost, in our little platform, we want to show our support to them.
Hey,
All
big
right,
dog, can I piggyback on that?
go ahead, dog.
So like I listen to a lot of KRS-One, his his seminars and stuff on YouTube, right? And he talked about us giving each other our work. You know what I'm saying? And he was saying how like you take two friends and and they sitting there like they on the street corner or whatever, and one of them start rapping and he say blase 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 blase. Then his boy was like, "Yo, that was dope. Say it again." You know what I'm saying? And then he's like, blase, 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 whatever. And then he's like, man, he was like, and then he went to the next person. He was like, man, spit that for him, spit that for him. You know what I'm saying? So then he was like, blase, blase. He's like, man, wasn't that dope? You know what I'm saying? So then what happened was in the end, they started selling, like, they had a little, an event. You know what I'm saying? And then he started charging people $5 to see him. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is with the two, is like if you give me value, that gives you value. You know what I'm saying? So like if you give me value and then that makes you valuable, then we're valuable together and we can go and do something else. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's important for us to champion each other in what we do. Like when I see somebody else that's doing something in the business or whatever, I make sure that I support that person. You know what I'm saying? And like I was at in Lansing one day. I'm passing through and I stop at the gas station to get some gas, right? And this dude selling his CDs and what he was saying that he was trying to get to Chicago to do an event or whatever. Me personally, like I don't like a lot of rap. You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't like your music, I don't like your music. But that ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? Even if I don't like it, I need to help you get out there because somebody else might like it. You know what I'm saying? I bought his CD and I did listen to it. I just didn't like it, but I paid for it as to support him. So I mean, it goes a long way. Any a word. Like I like what you're doing. It goes a long way.
That is an endorsement.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, look,
That's fair.
great point. Mr. Davis, welcome to you, sir.
What's going on? Everybody doing?
What's going on,
What's
fam?
going on, Dave?
What's up, man?
Not much, man. Out here in
Okay.
traffic.
Yo, and you came in just in time.
Going on,
It's
cuz?
time for your 5 minutes of funk. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Talk about
Well,
talk about who you are, talk about why you are, talk about just how much you just talk about you, man, and we'll go from there.
Well, my name is David. Um, I'm the owner of Day Ones Only. I've probably I had my brand Day Ones Only for probably the last few years, but I've been in and out of a few different endeavors over the last like 8 years. I've dealt with when I first started out, I started out with another t-shirt branding team that I had called Lounge Junkies. That was around 2015. Then I got into the shoe industry when it was real popular. Remember, I don't know if guys remember, it was real popular to like paint on shoes and like people was doing like soul swaps and things like that. So I kind of got into that around like the end of 2015, 2016. And, it was fun. I learned a lot. The person that I was working with, I learned a lot about business. I learned about printing. I learned about like contracts and partnerships, collaborations with other companies. Learned a lot about how to maneuver and like just to make sure that you get what you deserve out of the situation. Because sometimes in the beginning, you would kind of give everything away in order to just have that moment, and that's necessary in some situations, but not all. So I was able to learn what type of situations needed that and what type of situations didn't. So like I said, I was end of 2015, going into 2016. I was doing that. I've been involved in music. I had one of my friends. He's a rapper, so rapper and producer. So around that time, we was kind of all just involved in everything. So like I'd have been on. He opened up for Lil Uzi Vert, PNB Rock. Like I've met them. Like I've met a lot of like big time people. Just over the course of my journey. And it's one thing I noticed with like meeting those people, because sometimes people run into those people and kind of get fanned out. So it was like that for me at first, and it's like, oh man, like I listen to his music and I'm bumping into him, so it's kind of like a moment. But you realize, like, people are kind of just like you. They're just entertainers, they're just celebrities, on a bigger platform, but they have the same problems we do. They go through the same daily practices as we do. Like all these things are kind of still the same. So that perspective kind of helped me stay grounded. I don't get too high, I really get too low because I've seen both sides. So I was involved in that probably up until I started doing Day Ones Only, and just with my brand Day Ones Only, it's not really more so about like being like the biggest clothing designer. I want to be able to influence. My grandmother was a teacher, so I always had that education aspect to my life growing up, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know my grandma Louise. It's school was the number one thing. So it's like I had to read books. I had to actually write papers. When they give you the paper, like you go home and just look up something and try to put something together. It's like, nah, I gotta have my commas, I gotta have my periods. They gotta be spaced out a certain way. And she didn't care if I had to stay up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to do it. So
Hey,
like
Auntie was hard on you, was she?
yeah, and she always wanted me to go into teaching, but I tried the school thing out a few times and it just really wasn't for me. But I felt like if I do go into something like my own brand, I want to add that education aspect to it just from that background. Like I may not be able to work in a public school or a school district, but I can still implement those same things and teach people through clothing or teach people through talking and what I'm saying, having a podcast and doing those different things. So that's one of my main things is just being an influence. That's why I came up with the name Day Ones Only, because when you think of a day one, you think of, what I'm saying, loyalty is probably at the top of that list. You learn a lot of things when you're dealing with people that you've known your whole life. So you figure out ways to deal with each other. You find out how you're different, and you just bring that all together. So when I came up with Day Ones Only, it was kind of just a background of my life. Like I've had friendships 20 plus years, and I found those friendships through sports. So one thing sports teach you is empathy. Because you got to protect your brother no matter what. I don't care if y'all got into a fight before the game. When we get out here on this field or we on this basketball court, You my brother, and I'm not gonna let nothing happen to you. So you learn those things, and it just kind of represented my personality and my background. So it was just kind of easy to come up with day ones only. Plus, I knew it would be catchy. You know, with day ones only, people see it and they get it immediately. It's not. I'm not really like a person that really likes to explain myself a lot. So I knew that I needed something that people can understand immediately, and then from there, I can implement my personality to bring it all together. You know, so that was one of the main things. And like I said, I've been doing it the last few years. You know, we've had, you know what I'm saying, we've had some big wins, we've had some small wins. You know, you've had some down days, and you know, it's I wouldn't trade it for the world, to be honest with you. Like, it's really something I love doing. I talk about it every day. You know, like, even if I got to talk to myself, I talk about it every day. You know, I make sure I do something every day to add on to what I'm doing, even if it's something small. It might be something as simple as listening to a podcast or listening to a song. I just try to add something to keep me motivated and just keep me in tune with what I'm doing, because there's so many distractions out here, man. Like, you got, as soon as you open your phone, you got a million distractions. We got so many different social media apps. You can go to any one of these social media apps and find a million different distractions. So just being able to keep that focus and keeping that motivation is, you know what I'm saying, it's special to me. So, you know, like, I don't really take it for granted. And thank God, you know, like, I've been able to put it out there for people, and people understand it, people support it. You know, I get a lot of good feedback, whether it's in my DM messages, somebody bumping into me outside, liking, sharing, you know, whatever the case may be. So, you know, just having those conversations and experiencing those moments, I kind of feel like that's like a higher power communicating with me as well. So,
Okay.
you know, like, that's what really keep me in the game and just keep me motivated. And you know what I'm saying, I just want to expand it as much as I can. You know, like, I don't want to spread myself too thin, but I want to open up different avenues as much as I can off this one name. So, you know, clothing is just one aspect, but you know what I'm saying, with our slogan, you know, I got two slogans. One is loyalty is royalty. The other is we don't make clothes, we make statements.
Okay.
You know, so you get a shirt from me, you get a hoodie, a hat. I don't even care if one day I decide to make a water bottle. It's gonna be a statement on there that's gonna define something in my life that can translate to other people. It's like the bridge. So that education aspect is the bridge to the people that I implement within my brand to really get my message off. You know, so it's not really like entrepreneurship and business is cool to me, but when you start to do something, like, you start to get into a skill or you get into a practice, business, it kind of turns into a business because you start to make money. And once you start to make money, the government wants their cut. So it was never
Mm-hmm.
about business for me. You know, like, I always wanted, my dream was to turn my hobbies into careers. So, you know,
Gotcha.
like, clothing, I was always shopping. So I found a way to turn that into a career with starting a clothing line. You know, I was in love with ESPN growing up. So being a broadcaster was at the top of my list when I was like 16. That's why I get into, you know what I'm saying, the podcasting element as well. And I talk, you know, like, I just want to turn those things into careers. And I feel like if that's something that I could do, you know, I can really enjoy life the way that I want to. You know, we do what we got to do, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here to create the life that I want.
Okay.
You know, it's cool going to work, it's cool, you know what I'm saying? All of that is cool and I respect it, but you know, I'm here to create the life that I want for me every day. You know, I want to be able, once I do have, you know what I'm saying, have my kids or whatever, I can introduce them to this. You know, like, I can bring that on that journey, because that's how my granddad was. You know, my granddad was at everything. You know, like, he talked to me, you know, like, he showed up, and it wasn't just like on the football field. You know what I'm saying? We got home, he was recording practices, he was recording the games. We got home and we had to watch it. So, you know, like, that was always important to me. And it's a lot of the reason why I am the way that I am today and move with the energy that I do.
Okay. All right. Well,
I
look.
don't know if that was 5 minutes, but you know.
No, hell no. It was about 20. But go ahead.
You
But
got a lot in.
no. We don't mind that. We good. But we at the halfway point, and Jaquari, you know, I think Jaquari, do you have something to offer the guys? He froze. Jaquari, are you there, brother?
He sleep.
Jaquari like to lie.
If he
Jaquari
is,
like
he
to
got his
lie.
eyes
He's
open.
frozen. He's frozen. All right. Well, look. Well, we're gonna wait and see if we get him. You good now, bro? Jaquari,
Come on, man.
Maybe he can't hear you.
you good
No,
now?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know,
it's Hardaway. It's yeah. I'm good now. Yeah.
good.
Hard. Goddamn. Yeah, you can hear me. You can hear me if you stop talking.
Who's talking?
I think it's playing back later for him.
You got me?
Oh, you know what? You're on a delay, so
Yeah.
we stopped, bro.
Hey, Hardaway.
What up?
It's funny that David should mention water bottles, huh?
Yeah, right. Cause I got some bottles of water somewhere around here.
All right.
Oh, Mike
Hey,
is you.
Man,
you good?
yeah, y'all gonna have to move on, man. Shit.
Hey, nah, man.
Hey, look.
Hey, Jaquari.
Hold on. Let me just say this. Jaquari is in the middle of the DC area, man. So really and truly, there's so much around Friday about this time. There's so much traffic, man, that like early on, we hear him clearly, but as we go on, everybody's hopping on the internet and they just throw his thing out of whack. But he's
He
gonna
got
come
about
back strong.
6 or 7 million people around him, don't he?
Yeah. So let me do this. I got a couple questions for you guys, man, because I want to really I want our audience to really get to know each and every one of you. Okay. So the kind of questions I'm going to ask is the kind that you're gonna have to put some thought to. So really and truly, let's just do it from this point. Do you think, in your opinion, that you get enough family and friend support when it comes to your business? And can you tell me, if you think you do, what does it mean to you? Everybody got that?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right,
Let me.
David, we'll start with you, boy. No. I tell you what, Judah,
Yes,
you're
sir.
the youngest. You're the youngest, man. We'll start from you.
Yes, sir. Now, yeah, I agree that I have great support from my family and friends, but also I don't look for I don't aim for my family and friends. I don't look for nothing. So any support that I do have, it's a blessing. It's a big support for me. So I'm very appreciative of that. So if it's one person, two people, 10 people, I still feel the support and love no matter what. But I think it is a big support though also because if you have them slow days and sometimes you get stuck in your head, it's also people who might need to know that they're there for you. Somebody got your back, and so when they put that input in and still show support without you knowing, it's like, oh, somebody really got me. You don't feel alone sometimes, but and make your business journey a little better for knowing you had somebody. But it's also a good route not to really aim for that. Because if you aim too much, you don't want to rely on that. You don't want to get let down. You don't want to expect. You don't want to put nobody expectations too big on somebody. So any support that comes your way, you got to be very appreciative, supportive of that.
Okay. Okay. All right, Julio, we'll come to you, brother.
I know I'm always either first or second,
All right, you
but
want to be
it's all
last?
good. No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
No. Ho. You are absolutely correct. We gonna go to the
See,
latecomers.
I
So
shouldn't have said that, man. I shouldn't have
look,
said that.
David, it's on you, brother.
I think I get it. I think I get great support from my family and friends. To piggyback off, what Judah said, I don't really like depend on it, or I don't expect it. know, so I don't allow that to like get in the way of anything. You know, like my friends are still my friends, my family's still my family, and you know, it's my job to get this out there to as many people as I want. My friends and family supporting me is great. You know, I get great support from that. You know, like they wear it, they post it, they tell people about it. You know, like if they bump into somebody that has it on, you know, they call me, they let me know. You know, so like I get great support. You know, from both sides. It's not something I can complain about at all. Like I've always gotten support.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know, so yeah.
Keith.
Yeah, absolutely get support from my family. Even Uncle Spoke, he has on one of the hoodies. Uh, for my last collections, you know. And the thing about it is, like, for me, like, I don't expect my family or friends to buy any of my stuff, but I still gonna ask them anyway. You get what I'm saying? Is this part of the routine? You know, like, because this one thing is like, if I don't ask and then I'm selling something, some people in my family be like, "Damn, why didn't you tell me?" And it's like I just don't want to go through that. You know, I'm gonna continuously do it. If it still annoys you or I don't say anything, I'm still gonna still ask. You know, I think that's the best way to even go about it. Um, yeah, I definitely get support. I got family who think they part of it, and they are. You know, they are part of my business. You know, they give me ideas. You know, it's not about, because for me, it's not even about anybody. If you believe you're part of it, then you're part of it, and that's what it is for me.
Okay. Julio.
Yeah, I think my family, they support. You know, my family go hard too. You know what I'm saying? Um, but do I think it's important? I kind of do. You know what I'm saying? Because like all y'all live in big cities. You know what I'm saying? I'm from small Albion. So like everybody know me. Everybody know my family. You know what I'm saying? So if your family ain't wearing your stuff, then why would I wear it? You know what I'm saying? So like yeah, I think I get um pretty good support, and the support good. You know what I'm saying? I look for that. You know, like it's important, you know, to me.
Okay. Okay. Jaquari, are you with us, brother? All right. Damon. Damon, you got something to offer to this, brother?
Um, I'm just listening, man. The one thing first off, man, I'm impressed of the fact that when you look at this whole panel, man, we all related in some way or another.
Yeah, I
You
think
know what I'm
so.
saying?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? One way or another, we are related. And as I'm listening to each story,
Damn,
I
man.
never heard either one of them say, "Oh man, it's all about the paper for me, man. I'm trying to get my hustle on." You know what I'm saying? It's
Nah,
something broader than that,
no,
man.
no.
You know what I'm saying? It's a move. You know, each one of them they spoke about a movement. You know what I'm saying? And that's very profound, man. You know what I'm saying?
And can can
Go
I
ahead.
ask something? I'm gonna interrupt before you start interrupting, because I know they say you always interrupting. But
No, you doing
but
it today. You doing
okay,
it today.
yeah. I mean, it's about us, so we supposed to be talking, right?
Right.
But you know, like when it comes to anything that when you get into business, and any person that rightfully doing research, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, like, when you go and you look at another person that's doing business, you're gonna find out that nobody does it for the money. You know what I'm saying? And the first thing that you're gonna hear is, if you chase the money is gonna run forever.
Hello?
You know what I'm saying? If you chase the money gonna run forever. But if you chase your passion, you're in a tight race right there. You know what I'm saying? So like, we never chase the money. You always chase your purpose.
Big facts.
I agree with that also.
Big
I would have.
facts.
I feel like if I was chasing the money, I would have been stopped. I would have been gave up.
Yeah.
The purpose to take this is way bigger. Like it's way bigger than money, because you gotta really believe in yourself. You gotta be something in you for real. For real. You gotta be, like you said, a movement. You gotta really want to do this. Whatever business you step into, people do get into business for the money though. A lot of people think you can just sell what you want, but you gotta actually love the stuff. So like, are you gonna quit? You might get 2 years in and give up on it because you might not see the progress you want.
What do y'all think about a cat man who money is their god, man? You know what I'm saying? What's your opinion on the cat like that?
I don't,
To
I
each his
don't
own.
really, I don't really. I mean, at the end of the day, we all grown. You know, we men, so you do whatever you want to do. I'm never gonna,
Yeah.
step on nobody's toes or tell them to stop doing what they want to do. But that's not really how I consume my energy. Because it's like if that's your forefront, and it's gonna always be. And if we partners or we dealing with each other at some point in time in this relationship, money is gonna be right in the middle. So like you gonna get me out the way to get the bag. I can't. It's nothing I can do with that.
The reason why I asked that question, man, because I've been watching, from afar, how everybody going at Puffy now. You know what I'm saying? Talking about what type of businessman he was, you know, and how he was all about money. He didn't care. You know what I'm saying? And then you had Master P and his son going back and forth, man. Would money ever take y'all to that position in life, man, where y'all argue with your sons or family members or anybody else like that on social media?
Can I take
If
this one?
Yeah.
Uh, the way I feel about that situation, um, it comes a time like when you focus on your divine purpose, you find out what that is and you stick to that, and you make it off of what your purpose is. Um, a lot of people fall off. It's not you got to change because the people around you are going to change. You know what I'm saying? So like that, like we got to hold ourselves accountable. They expect us to hold ourselves accountable for our success and for your failures, or because you didn't have um, the willingness to get out and do what you're supposed to do or what you could have done. You know what I'm saying? So like um, when it comes to stuff like that, I can't feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? Um, because my whole thing, like when I ain't really nowhere yet. That was a bad thing to say, but when I get where I want to be at, I don't want to give nobody anything. I want to employ people. You know what I'm saying? I want you to find your passion. You know what I'm saying? So like, um, the whole thing, like with Romeo um and and P, that was something that they had to figure out. You know what I'm saying? First of all, they shouldn't have made it to the mainstream. You know what I'm
real
saying?
talk,
And second of all, we should have sat
facts.
down and we talked about this in the house. You know what I'm saying? And we could figure this out. Like Diddy, I don't know what the hell he doing. Like,
Mm.
but yeah.
Can I can
Oh,
piggyback off the. Can I ask you a question about the Diddy comment? Fluke.
Yeah.
hey,
Is that
David. I'm gonna let y'all finish, man.
all
But
right?
we look, we about us right now. Not fuck them, but fuck them. All right, go ahead, David.
Okay.
Finish.
Now I was just asking, like, what you like? How do you when you said like he all about the money, like what are you like pertaining to, like the record deals or the business ventures?
Well, if you working with people that's close to you in the beginning, you know what I'm saying, and you
Mm.
blow up, are you gonna honor contracts, man? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna
Oh, okay, yeah, for
I'm saying,
sure,
are you gonna
yeah.
continue to what you went into as far as putting their stuff out there, promoting them? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're in that position, you're in the background. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
it's all about promoting and building the brand. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I guess my point is, if you guys was to become very successful, is it still going to be about community? it's still going to be about
So I took it wrong.
family and stuff like that, or is it going to be
Yeah.
about the money? That's why I said about is money your God.
Oh yeah. No, I'm gonna forever be, you know what I'm saying, about family and community and pure love. So that's
You,
kind of
you,
easy to answer.
you know what though? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It's that old little cute saying that people say. You know, if an asshole wins the lottery, what does he become?
A rich asshole.
A
A
bigger
rich
asshole.
asshole.
Mhm.
Basically, you gotta understand something. Whatever, if somebody had a flaw before they get the money, unless it's some divine intervention, they're gonna still show those traits once they get money.
Yep.
I think that's just my opinion. Okay. Now,
I
hold on. Jaquari had yeah,
He had
he
three
sent his
questions.
question through the chat, right? And he says he wants to know, how do you guys address your haters if you have them?
How do you address haters?
Yeah.
You don't. There's no addressing. I mean, it depends where the hate's coming from, but I don't think you address hate.
Okay.
what's a
Yeah,
I mean,
you protect
what's a hater?
yourself. I mean, you protect yourself from negative or what you deem to be negative or something that is affecting you in a way, but it shouldn't be anything that should get you off your course to get your objectives done. You're always going to have obstacles. It's all depending on how you handle that obstacle. Are you going to let it, slow you down, or you're going to use it as an advantage? Actually.
Okay. Anybody else?
I just I don't address it at all. You know, I mean, you take mental notes of certain things. You know, I'm a forgive but never forget type person. So you take mental notes of certain things, but I don't address nothing unless you bringing it straight to me. That's different. You know, but if it's just hate from afar, like that ain't nothing you really address or feed into. You know, like that's just part of the game.
Okay.
I think to me, like uh, one of the biggest things that we didn't get taught was how to control our emotions. You know what I'm saying? So like that's one of the first things that I had to do. I got to learn how to control my emotions. So like if somebody comes to me and they say something, um, uh, or they a hater or whatever, like I just don't show them no emotion. You know what I'm saying? I might I might go home and like I might be pissed. I might want to punch something. But I ain't gonna give you that. I'm not even gonna give you the gratification to know that you did that. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay. Yesterday, I presented this question to you guys, and I told you I was going to bring it back today.
that adversary.
And we went into exactly what I meant by it. As you go along your daily day in your businesses and trying to make it work for yourselves, do you take the adversarial approach, or do you have another approach other than that? You guys understand what I mean by being adversarial, because I can read the
Mm.
definition for
Yeah, no, I understand from
Right.
from yesterday.
you. So, I mean, really and truly, it's basically just putting yourself in the position where anybody that disagrees with you, they're your adversary. Now, do you think if you take that approach, do you think that takes away from who you are and your brand?
Mm.
Most definitely. Because it all starts with like yourself. I go back to the saying like you gotta know who you are and know what your purpose is and know what you're doing. It can't really be about another person's opinion, and you can't really get offended by it. Everybody has entitled to their own opinion. But yeah, you can't take the
Mm.
approach of personal for real, for real.
Yeah,
Business is
I
never
don't.
really like personal to a certain extent.
Yeah, I don't take it personal at all. You know, I mean, I'm a sponge. So like, information and just even if it's information from a hater, everybody not hating. Some people offering you genuine, what I'm saying, genuine advice about them. It could even just be a customer, like you can't really like take it personal because you have to be open when you're in business because things change so much, especially in this day and age where everything is moving faster. So, you just got to be able to adapt. Everything isn't hate, so you can't really like take a personal approach to it unless it's disrespect. That's different.
Okay.
Yeah, like the first thing, before you react to it, I think you gotta find out is if it's constructive first. You know what I'm saying? And anything can be considered as constructive. You know what I'm saying? You can learn something from anything. So that's probably the easier way for me to deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the person who you gotta show improvement. You can definitely say something, but it can just be hot smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't really matter unless you can like explain it to a way where I could understand that it can make sense to benefit. Like you, people always has an opinion. What's that quote? Everybody got a what was it? Opinions is like an asshole. Everybody got one. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it is just real.
Yep.
Like everybody can say anything, but it's like, what's the concrete proof and evidence? That's what I'm here for. I want you to show me that okay, that's not the right way to do it, or that's a way, but here's a better way. Give me that type of information, and it's like if it's something else that it is that I feel that is not to be worthy in the sense of me understanding that like I need it or they're trying to help me, I just ignore it, man. I just ignore it. I just keep it going.
Can I push back on that a little bit?
Hold on. Push back on it after we got David, and then you can do so, man.
I answered the question.
Yeah, he did.
Who was the one who didn't answer the question? Everybody answered the question?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
everybody
think we
else.
all
Yeah,
answered.
everybody.
All right. Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead, Fluke.
I think he just wanted to press me, man. That's all.
Hell no, I need you. Shit, what are you talking about?
The reason why,
Quarry's internet is fucking up. So
yeah, the reason why I'm gonna press back on that because the one thing we have to understand as a 57-year-old man, the one thing I understand about myself is that I take shit personal, man. I do. You know what I'm saying? If you have the mindset to look at it the way you guys described it, that's a beautiful thing. That's maturity, man. And
but see,
And we ain't
I
saying we
agree
don't take it
totally.
personal, but we just don't. It's just how we react to it. Of course, you
yeah,
take it personal.
yeah, but that's
Nah,
my whole point. You know what I'm saying? If you understand what your wheelhouse is, and
Yeah.
you trying to express your because everything that y'all doing is about expression, right? You know
It's
what I'm saying?
yeah,
right.
presentation, everything.
Right. So you understand you're gonna have your detractors. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. But we
But
got to understand that we ain't for everybody.
right, right.
All right,
So
now look, go ahead, Fluke. Because yo, man, look, I'm gonna call a little bit of bullshit, man. But go ahead, Fluke. I'm
right,
with you.
and that's what I'm pushing back on, man. You know what I'm saying? What you have to realize, man, that there is that human element. You know what I'm saying? Because if you are able to push away your detractors, you know what I'm saying? People has an opinion about your product because your product, like Edgar Badu said, I'm sensitive about my shit,
Man, I was
right?
about to say that today.
You know what I'm saying?
I was about to
That's
say that.
true. That's
Yeah,
true. If you are artist, man, you know what I'm saying. You have an understanding of how you see the world. Your product express how y'all see the world.
Yeah,
You know what
can I
I'm saying?
tell
yeah,
y'all a
that.
story?
Hold on. It is. Yeah, I agree with that, but it's more like you're not gonna tell me how I'm gonna create my shit. You get what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah,
about oh you like my shit. It's my
Yeah.
you're not gonna tell me how to make my shit. That's
See,
the
that's
that's
better. That's better than
that's the
being
that's
more
the difference.
honest.
That's the
You're
All right.
being
difference
more
though.
honest now. You're
That's
being
the, is
on.
this the
He brought it out of you. You're being more
Now,
honest.
now
Yeah, you
I
want
would
nah?
to
Is
say
take
this
the
the
this.
difference though?
you want
Is
to take the high road. Let me just say this real quick. You want to take the high road. Damon brought it out of you. But fuck that. Excuse my language, everybody out there. But fuck that. Yo, this is you. This is expression of you. You understand
Right.
what I'm
Of
saying to
course.
you? So
Mm-hmm.
Of
But
course.
it's not like, hey, I'm gonna always take the high road. No, that is going to affect you every time. You know why? Because you put you into this thing. But
now
I'm
I would say
sorry.
this.
But
I would say this. I would say this. That's why I said it's about the approach. Because if it's something that I take as disrespect, of course I'm gonna take that personal. If something that's out of the ordinary, but when you're dealing with so many people, like some people really do offer genuine things. Like I pay attention to the person's approach when they tell me. That's how I'm able to know if I should take this personal. I don't
Okay.
really get like a lot of that feedback, like so. But the times that I did get that feedback, I handled it in a personal way for sure. But it's not
I,
something I took with me. I handled it right there in that moment, and like we get back to doing what we got to do.
hey, Dave,
Facts.
I want to ask you, like, okay, when you take it personal, if somebody come at you with an approach where it's disrespect or whatever, and you take it personal, how do you react to it?
I mean, I usually run across those types of situations, like if I'm doing like a pop up or something. Like I've had a few times where it was just like, all right, you don't like it, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for shopping with me. Sometimes somebody says something out of their neck, I'll tell you like, hey, bro, get that away from my table. Like it
Yeah.
just depends. Like I can't really call out and say like I react like this through this, and it's like whatever I feel in that moment is how I react. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? That's the human element for me.
See,
Hey,
I'm loving that conversation, baby. Go ahead, Julio.
Thanks, sir.
I had I had this instance where like when I first started making shirts, um, I was customizing them for the individual. You know what I'm saying? So like they would tell me, I would ask them like, "What's your passion?" And I would make that shirt correlate with their passion. You know what I'm saying? So like it was this one guy, he ordered like 100, it was like $100 and some dollars worth of stuff. And like when I was making this stuff, I had a delay on when the stuff was coming in the mail. Now, before I go there, the guy I used to date his wife or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And me, like I tried my hardest to keep for real. I tried to keep that away from business. You know what I'm saying? It was important for me to keep that away from business. So uh when I told him on Tuesday that I had a delay on my shipment and that it wasn't gonna be in until tomorrow. And then um I seen when I sent the message to him on Facebook, I seen his face drop down to the message. You know what I'm saying? So then when I hit him up like a couple days later, and I'm like, "Hey, I got your stuff." You know what I'm saying? I had to literally get in my car and go and find you. You know what I'm saying? I made this specifically for you. You know what I'm saying? I can't sell this to nobody else because it's yours. You know what I'm saying? So when I finally did get to him, he gonna tell me like you being unprofessional and all this stuff. You said this and you said that. I said, listen, bro, I already told you already. I seen you see the message when I said um that it was gonna be a delay on your shipment. So like he started playing me off and it got to the point where I got mad and in my mind, like I was gonna just drop the stuff off at his house and you can have it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's yours. And I just keep on going. But then like he finally did reach out to me and bro was like he gave me this old ass $100 bill. As a matter of fact, I think it was like it had like 85 or something on it, like a small face. I'm like, man, he had to go get this from his grandma. Cause the whole the whole thing about it was like he didn't have the money in the first place. So that's why he was giving me so much slack and he was trying to play me off. And then this dude gonna have the nerves. I'm sitting there and I'm looking him in his face, and dude gonna tell me I don't know what's going on uh with with you and my wife, but I ain't no killer, but don't push me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got my money yet. You know what I'm
So
saying? So
so
I
hold on,
had,
hold on, hold on,
huh?
hold on. Hold on, I'm sorry, bro. You are not gonna just skip
Yo.
over that shit. Like,
Hey,
Look,
I was gonna ask
listen,
the same thing.
listen.
I said,
But let me
hold
tell
on.
y'all something. Let me
All
tell
I
y'all
heard was
something.
killer, man. Where did I
Let
gonna
me
Yo.
come
tell
back
y'all
to?
something. Let me tell y'all
Start
something.
getting deep.
Yeah, it got deep. But you
I
know
got
what though? At
real.
the same time, I ain't got my money yet.
got
You know
you,
what I'm saying?
got
I ain't got my money yet. But
You
the
gotta
thing
make them pay
about it,
up
what
front.
yeah,
At least a
that's what I.
deposit,
But
something
see,
to cover
this
it.
is the, like I had to figure that part out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like once I got my money and I looked at it, and it still could have went somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? But
you. Look,
I'm a very strategic person.
bro, that is
I
small
ain't
time
look.
love. Small
I
town
got my
love
money,
right there,
and I
boy. That's
ain't look.
crazy.
It ain't. It ain't. To me, it wasn't even worth it. You know what I'm saying? I just pushed away from it, and I ain't never do business with him again.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? But like to me, do I put myself like I could have did something to him? I'm looking at him like I really wanted to just like take it to his face right there. You know what I'm saying? But like, do I really want to do that?
All right, now my question to you, real quick. Why even do business with him at all if it's not about the money?
Why do the business with him?
Yeah.
Because it's still about my passion. You know what I'm saying? It's still about if he hadn't brought his wife into it, it would have never been a problem. I could have avoided it.
I'm not. Hey, look.
Huh?
I'm not messing with you, man. Stop playing with me, Julio. Think about what you're saying to us right now.
What I'm saying?
You just said to me. Now, am I getting? Tell me if I'm wrong. You said to me, and we just having fun with this, but you just said to me that you was involved with his wife, and
That
you
was, but
decided
it was years ago.
years ago,
Years
right?
ago.
And
But
he knew it. No, hold on. And you had an idea that he knew about it, correct?
I don't think he knew. He just assumed it.
Okay, we good. We good.
But my
My
thing,
man.
the bottom line to this is like when it comes to the disrespect and all of that stuff, or like when it comes to me as a man, first of all,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Before even the business, I'm thinking the way ahead of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I could have did whatever to him. I ain't even had to do nothing. I have one of somebody
Okay. Oh,
in
Julio, we good. We good, Julio.
Shoot, as long
no.
as you got look, as long as
Let,
you
let,
got the
let, let,
money.
us, let us let us
I
let
had to
us
get the
move
money.
on from here.
Uh,
We gonna
Hey,
Yeah,
move
hey,
here, bro.
listen. Hey,
It's
I
situational for
came in on
sure.
the ass end of it, but hey, cuz, do we have to lock and load, man?
no, no.
no,
See
no,
what you starting.
no.
This is what I'm
See,
talking about.
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like it to me, I ain't have to do nothing. I ain't have to do nothing.
All right. Look,
Yeah,
let's get
I
back.
see him, Uncle Smoke.
Look, let's get back on. Let's get back on
I might
point,
have to
right?
step outside.
All right, now Jaquan is sending comments, right? And I was just waiting to get a chance because he's getting a little indignant with his weak ass internet. But I got you, bro.
Damn.
Look,
Oh, you gonna get some
now
comments
Jaquan
now, bro.
said, Jaquan said, this is what he asked. He said, I asked a question about the haters because as a fellow creative, I understand how our projects can become our children. What do you think about that? Your projects becoming your children. It's still on the
It
same lines
has to
that we're
be.
talking about. Is the things that you create, are they that important to you?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's important.
yeah, it is. It is, but at the same time, it's like it is a certain line. Cause like going back to that money situation, like it's a certain line, man. It's like you do you just want to want it to just be there, or do you want to actually get paid for your work too? You gotta. It's like it's that line between art, like being an artist and a businessman, man. You just got to make certain decisions. Whereas it's like, do you want to get paid for this, or you just want to just keep it for for your collections, just to have on the back burner. I think that is this like is this like I think of it like a bird, right? A bird, when they have eggs, they have babies, and then the babies gotta learn how to fly. If they don't fly, they just a dud. They'll die. You gotta. To me, is a situation is flight or flight in the sense of you know I gotta let it go. You know, I gotta see if it can just survive on its own. And I think that to me, that's the correlation of am I going to get paid for this? Like, am I going to be okay with this being what it is and somebody using it? You know, is this certain situations? It's like you know, I, I can be attached, but at the same time, I have to let it go. For certain projects, not the main project, but certain sub projects that you have. You want to get paid, man. That's the name of the game for us. You know.
Okay. Judah.
Yeah, so I definitely agree, but I definitely want to get paid in the process. I'm definitely chasing. I'm not saying I'm chasing money, but that's the blessing of chasing your passion. That knowing that who you is, that the money gonna come regardless. So you can't chase that. So it's a patience game. It's a, you got to learn. You got to be willing to learn every day. That's one thing I had to adapt to is learning every day and just not wanting something instantly. You can't. You want to be the best clothing line. You want to have the best merch, but you can't get it the next day. So you gotta have patience. You gotta learn how to take everything in and be acceptance to everything, and just go with the pace of the game for real. So you can't aim for certain things. You just rely on just the money. You gotta have some type of game plan and some passion behind it if you want to last.
Okay.
So it go back to leaving it. You're leaving for your you said for your kids.
Gotcha. Gotcha. David.
Um, I look at it that way in the form of like protecting it. It's like my child. I'm the only one that's really in charge of it. I'm at the forefront. I do everything for my brand. So from a protection aspect and a development, like I do look at it like a child, but I also have to have that open perspective to change because that's where the business part come in. Like we're talking about right now, like it starts out as just a creation, and you want to protect your ideas the best way you can, but it's also another element to this, which is making money off of what you do. So you can't totally just be in full on protection mode, but at the same time is needed, because you don't want to let too many bad apples in. Like, I mean, it's a part of the journey. You run across people, you might partner with a few people over the course of you building your brand and things don't work out, but you still have to have that open perspective to at least be willing to try, so you can't be overprotected, but you need to protect to the point where you're not letting people come in and create your sauce.
Okay.
Like this is your brand, this is yours, so you don't want people coming in adding on their element because I'm not you. Like I'm the only one that's me, so it's like I have to protect this, like, so I have to look at it that way, but at the same time I have to be open too.
Okay.
So to all four of you guys, man,
Hey,
y'all
hey,
would y'all be willing to forego a lucrative contract if it compromised your brand?
No, no.
Say that. What's the definition of the contract you just said?
Oh, hey man, y'all asking some questions. That's a question.
all right, all right. Well, look, hey,
That's a
Fluke.
question right
I'm
there.
Let
just
let
I'm just
let him.
following the conversation.
No. Great. That's a great damn question. As a matter of
That's a
fact, I
question
want
right
y'all to
there.
answer this for me, but let let Julio answer Jaquari's question
Oh, I'm sorry,
without
my bad, man.
without the Albion Chronicles, dog. And just answer the question, then we can
The
bridge the
Albion Chronicles. What did you talk about, bro? No. Hey, no, but of course, to me, Hardaway is a child. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to nourish this. It was my birth. A man is his mind. You know what I'm saying? And I birthed this. It was my idea. It was something that I imagined. You know what I'm saying? So like just like any other thing, a plant, um, your kids or whatever, like I gotta nourish this. But at some point in time, like it's gonna have to sustain its own um liabilities, whatever, like so yeah, it's definitely a child.
Okay. All right. Now go into answering flute question, Julio.
Can you
Would
repeat
I
the question
ever?
and tell me the
Yeah.
definition of the contract you were saying?
I say, were you guys willing to let go of a lucrative contract if it compromises your integrity in terms of your product and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying?
And I'm
In
asking,
other
what do
words,
lucrative?
So would you sell yourself for just? Would you
for the
sell
contract
out
for the
for it?
money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Oh no,
So
oh no, no,
that
no.
that's like that's like what we've been facing in our whole black culture existence. You know, dealing with the colonists and all of that stuff. You know,
Thank you.
I would never sell out like um like for like you come to me with $1 million and I got to change what I'm doing, or I'm going to sell it to somebody that's going to use it for a purpose outside of what I made it for. No, that's not the whole goal. You know what I'm saying? And like when you come into business, as a business, you come in with, you don't only have an interest strategy, you have an exit strategy too. And when you selling your business, your ultimate goal should be to sell your business. You know what I'm saying? So like you sell your business and then you say, well, look, I'm gonna give you my business for $80 million, and then I'm asking for a 5% of the revenue. Well, but you still got to run this the same way that I ran it. Because if you're not going to run it this way, then I don't want to sell it.
Okay. I respect that.
Shoot. Me.
Judah. No, let Judah go because he.
Uh, yeah, I'm not big on selling my dreams away or changing anything for money, but I'm also into making money, like I said. So if somebody brought a contract to me, it would have to make sense, and to a certain extent, like I'm into doing inquiries and making business deals. Not saying I would take any offers, but I'm not looking forward to just selling over my brand and having somebody run it and put their own ideas into it because this is all a thought at one point, you know. So I changed the thought. I mean, I made my thought to reality. So nobody else is gonna carry it the way I carry it for it. So I'm not really looking to sell it for no type of money. Because like we just said, it's not about the money. We ain't created. We created with nothing. Well, I know I did for sure. Like it was created with. It wasn't really about the money.
Keith.
Yeah. When it comes to, yeah, I wouldn't do that at all. Yeah, at all. When it comes to, it doesn't matter how big the contract is. It's like, well, at least I know, and I could use that for leverage for another contract that works in my favor.
There
You
you
know,
go.
Yep.
um,
Yep.
There you
Yep.
go.
especially when you have the proof and they give you the contract and you like, look, this is what's going on. Maybe shares is the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
Um, give them a certain amount of shares to be a part of the company, and so you can have it the way that it runs in your favor. Um, yeah, man. And yeah, even and my thing is this: it's like if your business, you're able to generate $500,000 on your own. Shit,
Yeah.
what makes you think you can't get the other 500? You know how to make $500,000. You know what I mean? That's a
Yeah.
million that you just made. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to really understand your worth and understand where you coming. What what these people are doing, because it comes fast. These type of deals will come fast, and you'll never see what's going on. You gotta read the paperwork, man. The paperwork is very vital, to understand what you're putting yourself into. Is I think that's the main thing, understanding that black and white for sure.
That's a
David.
great answer right there, boy.
David.
Um, I think business is all about leverage. So in order to create the right leverage for yourself, like you put in the effort and you put in the work to build your brand up to what it is. Me personally, I will never compromise my integrity or my values for no
Right.
money. Like that's the decision I make any day of the week. And this kind of piggybacks off the last discussion we just had before this question about it being your kid. Like that's what I mean by protecting it. I'm not gonna allow someone else to buy my company or buy into my brand and change the whole identity of it. to make money. Because if I built it up to this point, to the point where you want to buy it, then I'm doing something correct. So I don't have to compromise myself to this deal. You know, like I can bypass this deal, keep doing what I'm doing, and then I can run across the right situation that keep the values and keep the integrity of my brand intact and still get my money. You know, like money is needed to live. You know, like that's just what it is. But it's not something like I didn't create this to give it away for money. You know, like I could if it's about money, like I could just go to work or I can sell something that I know is going to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really a no brainer, you know, to not compromise your integrity for the money. Like I would never do that. But you have to compromise things in business, of course. When you're doing deals and you're negotiating, that's compromise. You're going to compromise certain things, but when it comes to the identity and the integrity, I'm never doing that.
All right.
And
Good
and,
answer.
and,
Great
and the
answer.
thing is too, the last thing I think that people, you know, especially with businesses, and you got a great business, man. Like, I think that the main thing needs to understand that people need to understand is not the business, is you. You're the
Yeah.
person who are able to create this stuff and make this happen. It's not the business. Yeah, it's a great logo, it's a great company, you got great products, but I'm the person who made this happen. So if anything, you're doing a contract with me, not my company. You know that's what people need to understand.
So what I'm
So
hearing is none of you guys would go into a contract like trap music, dissing other cats just to get the bag.
oh my
Nah,
God.
Nah, man,
They- So
Nah,
all right. Look,
at all.
look now. Hey,
nah,
all right. Let me ask this question
that ain't my bag.
because right now, Julio, I believe so. Julio is the only person out of the four of you guys that has children, correct?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
Okay. Now, is it fair to say that Julio is in a different place than you guys? Even though he might be a little older, I'm talking about a different place in business as you guys. Even
Y'all
though he
plays.
says,
Hold on.
even though it's a compound question, man. Even though he says that he won't compromise, his integrity, right? And I'm not questioning that, Julio. What I'm saying to you is this: you have four lives that you're responsible for. Does it change how you look at how you do business?
of course.
In what way? In what way?
If you can repeat the beginning question for me, my mic was going in and out.
No, basically what I'm asking because you guys don't have children, right?
You
Julio
don't have
does.
what?
Children.
Oh, children.
Children.
Okay, yeah.
Julio does. And in my opinion, that changes people's perspective as far as your business is concerned. Because I say that when somebody came to you and said, you know what, I think Hardaway's is worth, without question, it's worth $50 million if you sell it to us today. Of course, that's an exaggerated number, but what I'm saying to you is, if they came to you for $50 million and with the responsibility that you have, you're telling me, and especially if you know that it will mess with your integrity a little bit, you're telling me that you wouldn't seriously consider it without taking it. I would take it.
You know what? I'm
I
gonna
would
tell you
take it.
just like this. Everything, like we had this conversation yesterday. Everything that my kids are and what they will be is gonna come from me.
Okay.
So like if I was to just go and what I wouldn't tell my son to do. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't tell him like to go and you sell it. You drive trucks here for this person, but go and drive them for this person because whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is like I'm trying to lead my kids.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The one thing like everybody on here, I think it was Keith and David both said they mentioned about the worth. Like I told you, like I'm always into other people's lives and how they make it where they make it. Everybody get these lucrative deals. Eminem got them, Jay-Z got them, you
Hey,
know, all
hey,
this stuff.
hey,
But hold on.
I'm talking about
I'm,
Julio, man.
guess what I'm saying.
I
But
don't
what
give a shit
but you
about
got
those
but
celebrities.
I don't either. I don't either. But
Okay.
what I'm making my point. What my point is this right here. I've seen what holding out will do. If it's worth 50 million to somebody else, what is it worth to this person over here? And me personally, it's worth more than 50 million to me. Because you asking me to buy me.
No,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying?
No, you're asking to buy your product, my guy. See,
My product
this
is
is the
me. My product
no,
is
no, no.
me.
Hold on. Let me just
See,
say this.
that's what
I respect what you're saying, but understand this, and I'm speaking to all four of you guys because earlier I brought it into question, not because I doubted you, not because I didn't believe you. What I'm saying to you is this: what you create is only a part of you. You understand
of
what I'm saying
course.
to you? So that being just a part of you, you can create something more.
So let me ask you something. Your son right here.
Uh-huh.
Your son right there. Would you sell your son?
Why would
He's
I
a
say?
part of you.
So
Why
hold
would I
on,
sell? We just
hold on,
had the
hold on.
conversation
We no,
about
we no. Well, hold on. So you're telling me that, and this is not arguing with you. I just want to be
yeah.
clear of what you're saying. You equating my son to an idea that I came up with.
It's the same.
Why is it the same? I'm just curious because I've heard you say it a couple times. I just want some clarity. I'm not telling you. I'm not
You
disagreeing
asking me to sell, you asking me to sell a part of me for $50 million to somebody that's
why.
gonna
Why do you feel it's a
when
part
in
of
the
you?
back in the why? Because I created it.
Okay.
That's it's my creation.
Can you create
Is
something
what
else? Do you
I
have
can
the?
create.
I'm
We I
asking
can
all
create
four of you guys.
anything. I can create anything. But
That's
Keith,
my point.
but Keith, outside of your kids, what have you created?
I create something every day, my guy. This is my point.
But how do you feel about it?
I feel about the fact that each venture that I go into, right, is a venture that I want to succeed. But really and truly, I am the whole, and that venture is my branch.
So let me make sure I'm understanding here. So you're asking Julio, or you stating to Julio that it's okay to take that bag because you can create something else.
In some cases, yes.
And
But see,
he's
that's
saying
your
that's
opinion though.
Now, hold on. Did I say that you was wrong? And
No, you
yes,
didn't say I
it's
was
some,
wrong.
and
But
I'm
you
telling you,
still, but you drilling and trying to coerce me into saying that.
no,
Okay, I'll
no,
just go
sir.
ahead and
No,
sell it.
hold on. Did you hear me tell you you were wrong?
No, you
Because I'm
didn't
gonna say,
tell me.
hold on, Julio, because I promote this conversation for a reason, brother. It's not to give you a hard time. What I'm trying to do is help you to see my point in what I'm saying, because in some ways I would do exactly what you're doing, in some ways I would do different. And it's good for you to see the opposite of what you would do. You
But
understand what I'm saying to you? I'm
I've
I
not trying
think
to
already
change
seen
your
the
mind.
opposite.
I think because David, he definitely he hit on it too, in the sense of too, like, is about leverage, but at the same time, it's like, why are you giving me 50 million though? Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you see in the worth of this 50 million? And it's like, in this 50 million, are you seeing that you can make a billion off of the 50 million? You get what I mean? Or are you just seeing that it can give you 60 million? It's like, what is it's about the people around you too, to see your vision and giving you that money. You know, I yeah, me having kids, I can't. And going to my dad's point, it's like, Julio, you have kids, and so you have a different way of thinking. Even though we had the same common answer, I think that the thoughts are different, but we still come to the same conclusion. You know, I think that that is all about. It's really all about. It's about the people that's around you that believe in that one person giving that bag up. Because it's like I can go to somebody else who says it's 100 million, right? But say the person who gave you 50 million, and you take that same idea or that same contract to somebody else, they might see it as for 25. You get what I'm saying?
But
Let
Now
me
what?
say something.
but
Hold
but
on, hold on, hold
isn't
on,
but isn't
hold on, Damon, hold on a second. Let's speak realistically, okay? In this stage of my business, no one is coming to me and offering me $50 million. But let's say in the future, hold on. In the future, if in order for somebody to say, look, I'll give you $50 million for your business, you have to be making money already. You know what I'm saying? So like if you already making money off of it and somebody say I give you 50 million and I'm already making, if I'm only making 5 million off of it, and somebody come and offer me 50 million, and you want to buy something from me and then turn it around, I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? If I'm already making it, why I'm just gonna be like, oh, it's still like Keith and David said, it's still worth more. It's the leverage. You know what I'm saying? If you wait it out, you're gonna get what you want. You know what I'm saying?
So
So
let me ask you a question. If you don't, why wait it out? If why what? So you saying you waiting for a bigger bag, playing the devil's
man,
advocate.
I've been patient the whole time I've been building this.
So
Is
are
is
you
instant?
building it for the big bag, or what? What exactly are you doing?
Like I said, when you go into business initially, when you come in with an entry plan, you have an exit plan. You know what I'm saying? Hardaway is not the only endeavor that I'm going to work on. I want Hardaway TV. I want Hardaway this, Hardaway that. You know what I'm saying? So like if I sell you Hardaway T-shirt and you do whatever you want to do with it, and I'm still over here trying to do Hardaway TV, what is that going to say about Hardaway TV if I sold you Hardaway T-shirts and it ain't doing? It's the total opposite, the polar opposite of what I'm doing over here or what it used to be. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's about branding, right? It's about why. I mean, you can use it. See, here's the thing. You think that I am going against what you're saying. What I'm doing is asking you a question to provoke thought in what you're saying,
Well, I'm trying to get you to think about what I'm saying.
brother. I'm asking you a question because I do hear what you're saying,
Okay. So
bro. See,
I'm
that's my point. Here, hold on, I'm bringing it home because when I asked about the adversarial point of view, we just went into 5 minutes of adversarial conversation without understanding that's what we were doing.
can I say something?
Of course you can.
Um, because I'm passionate about what
Hold
I'm
on now.
saying. Hold
No,
on.
you just told me that I you told me that I was trying to change your mind. And I
But
told
see,
you directly that I wasn't.
so if I give you an answer, why you keep drilling the same question?
See, this is what I'm talking about, Julio. Think about what I'm saying to you, brother.
What is it to think about?
It
Why
is
am I gonna?
nothing, is nothing that I said to you that I disagreed with you. I just asked you, why wouldn't you take the bag? That was it.
I told you that, and then you said,
And
so
then
you
you,
wouldn't, so you wouldn't, so you wouldn't, so you
yes,
wouldn't.
yes.
so you was posting a
So what?
challenge, man?
You think I
That's
was
what you was doing?
challenging you because I asked you the question?
No,
No,
when you ask me the question and I give you the answer, you move on to the next question. You don't
bro.
drill the same question. What you want? You want a different answer for the same question? I already gave you what I had to give you.
First of all, I said to you that I understood what you were saying.
Okay.
I had layers because you're not the only person on this interview, my guy. You understand what I'm saying to you now? I'm talking to all four of you guys because that's how I directed the question at all four of you. I didn't say, well, Julio, what
I'm not.
the only thing I directed you was, think about it, huh? I said Julio has children, he might be thinking differently. Now I became your adversary because I said that you have four children.
So let me ask everybody else, whoever want to chime in.
Mhm.
Um, this conversion that we having, what are y'all input on what we was just talking about?
I think it depends on where you at in business, your mindset, your thought process, what kind of contract. Like you gotta weigh all this, so you can't necessarily say you wouldn't take 50 million because you only making. You ask a person who making 1 million for that brand, they might say a different answer, but they might be putting already 10, 15 years and they pay out. So you come to somebody with 50 million, you might be looked at as a fool to another person if you don't take that. But I think you have to just take all. It has to just make sense, like what I said. Like I'm not into just saying no to 50 million. There's no way I'm just going to turn down 50 million like just off the rip.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna weigh all my options, see what the 50 million is. It including marketing? Do I have any input on how I still want to run it? Am I gonna do this and that? Is it I don't know. It's just different. So you can't just say no right away. But I'm still heavy on like 10 toes in my own business. I don't really want somebody else to have their own vision because, like I said, if it's my thoughts, it's my passion. Nobody gonna feel the same for it. So, but I'll be a
I
fool.
think it. I think it depends on what level, where you at in your career stage when you
Exactly.
have kids. You know what I'm saying? I even think it matters if you're married too. Like if you've been doing something for a while and you've had a bunch of different ideas, to some people it would make sense to take that 50 million, because you've done so much. But I think it's really just all about, it's all about your situation. If you could afford to turn that down, then of course, but when you got mouths to feed, you got to always keep your options open. So like that always makes things a little bit more difficult because you got other people to worry about besides yourself. Like it's easy for like one of us to say it because like we don't have those types of responsibilities. So um, having kids, while you're on your journey is something you definitely have to keep in mind when you're running across certain situations. But I don't necessarily feel like it's a reason to sell your soul away. But it's just all about your perspective at that point. Whatever you feel, if you feel like you're getting to a point where you might be running out of ideas, or you might be getting to the tail end, because some people will be involved in it and feel like they're on that last bit to where they feel like they're gonna give up. So that's where the desperation comes in, and you
Yeah.
end up taking that 50 mil and compromising your values and your morals to feed your family. And it's either decision isn't a bad decision. I wouldn't blame anybody for taking that 50 mil to feed their family, and I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
blame somebody for turning it down as well. So that's why I said that's a good question, because that's a tough situation to be in.
Yeah,
Yeah. If you already got money, you ain't hurting for money.
and and then
Yeah,
you got, and another thing is too is like, it's like when the 50 million is, or let's say it's 10 million, right? It's 10 million, and you got to understand the trajectories of your company. Like what products do you have that can get you that revenue of 10 million? Or do you have products of that, or do you have the right marketing to push to get that 10 million? It's all depending on that as well too. It's like I understand, in the sense of, if you had kids, yeah, you gotta, it's something. It comes to a point where it's like, do you have enough at that moment to do it? If not, I would advise you to, if you think it's that dire at that moment, But if not, and you want to stand on your ground and that, your 10 toes and continue to grind it out, like Julio said, you've been doing, keep on doing it. It's going to work out because you know that you can get 10 million. You can get the 50 million because you got the 10 million. It's going to keep on building if you keep on putting in the work.
So basically, what and in a nutshell, that's what I was saying. That your mindset might be in a different location than everybody else on this panel. Now, if your mindset is not where, as far as that's concerned, and you same with you're on the same lines as them, then that's cool. Never said to you that, hey, I disagree with you. Not even close. Not even close. Because what I was doing was stimulate the conversation so everybody can chime in. You were
Okay.
I used you as an example because you're a part of this panel. You may not agree with what I said. I understand that. I wasn't trying to make you agree with it. But I wanted everybody else to see it differently because they're not in the same position as you. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. I understand why you posed the question, Keith. But when you posed the question, then you got into the nuances of the question based on the answer that he gave, right? And it felt like he was playing devil's advocate to challenge you. I get that part. But he said what he said. You know what I'm saying? And what he said was he wasn't willing to compromise his personal brand for any amount of money,
Okay.
whether he got kids or not. Correct me if I'm wrong.
And did not dispute that. I did not say
I'm,
anything
I'm not.
other than
I'm not questioning anybody. I'm just telling you what I heard. You know what I'm saying? I think, man, at some times, you know, I saw the fact that you was challenging him, but he gave you his answer. You know
all
what I'm
right, I'll
saying?
tell you what. I'll tell you what.
Based on, let me finish, bro.
How did I
Based on,
challenge him? Is
huh?
like exactly what I'm saying. How did I challenge him?
Because you kept, because you brought up rearing kids,
And that's the only thing I brought up.
getting the bag, and all that stuff. He said, "No, I'm not willing to do that because my integrity in terms of my company is what matters mostly."
Okay, and then
Correct me if I'm wrong, Julio.
but did I say anything after he said
I
that?
didn't. I'm not. I'm not even. I said you got into the nuances of it because you was challenging him.
See,
I'm not.
li-
I'm not challenging anything that you're saying, bro.
listen, man. Listen, because I don't want anybody to misunderstand exactly what I did because it was done to stimulate conversation.
And I said that.
That was it. That
I
was it.
said that.
And it
So
had
there's
nothing to do. No, no, let me just say this. I didn't say anything to him that said you wrong for taking that money at
Keith.
all.
I'm not saying that you saying
Okay.
anything, bro.
All right.
Just
Well,
let
no,
me finish my
I
point.
just, I just,
You're
uh,
defending yourself when you don't have to, bro.
no, I'm not defending myself. I'm just telling an actual point. That's it.
All right.
Look, let me
Well,
let me just
hold
say
on.
this
What
to
was
you.
Uncle Spoke's second question on there? Because he had something
No, no,
about
hold
connection.
on, hold on for a second. You see, here's the thing. This is for people to be heard, right? Now, I don't challenge anyone. The only thing I do is ask questions. That's it. That's it.
It ain't
Because
nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with none of this.
I'm
You know what I'm
not.
saying? Like
That's
no,
the
you,
whole point. We're not speaking again. We just following up with
yeah.
the
We
the
just
joint, man.
all right, we good. We good.
Nobody's challenging you on any level, bro. We
Okay,
following up on the
okay.
question.
I get it. I get it. We good
Okay, so
because what we get ready to do, what we get
no. We
ready to
gotta go to
do
the next question.
is not a next question because we've been on here for almost 2 hours and the last 15 minutes has been a pissing contest in which I blame myself for because I didn't word what I wanted to actually say correctly. So what we're going to do is Damon, we coming to your segment. Take us on home, brother.
here's the thing, man. As I'm listening to these brothers, man, who's in the business, I don't know the nuances of their experiences or any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to challenge your brother. It's okay to ask questions. All that stuff is okay. You know what I'm saying? And we respect the answers that they give. It is what it is. There's no challenge there. It's just people talking. It's just conversation. You know. Uh, I admire all four of you guys, man, because uh, mine is Judah. This is my first time meeting the brother, but it seemed like he got a level head on his shoulders, man. You know, I admired what he said in the beginning. You know, in terms of what he's doing with his dad in the community and all that stuff. Level-headed brother, man. You know what I'm
Appreciate
saying? And he has a vision, and that's a beautiful thing, man.
appreciate
You know
that.
what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing. David, always level-headed. Admire you, man. You know what I'm saying? You say the right things. Julio is about Julio. This brother is one of the most consistent brothers I know. You know what I'm saying? My nephew, his vision, man, is beyond my understanding because he lives it every day. Not only does he do clothes, he do art, he do, you know what I'm saying? He has a vision of what he wants to do. All of you guys have a vision of what y'all want to do. I presented my questions, you know, in terms of trying to figure out in terms of what I'm learning about y'all as individuals. What do you stand on? You know what I'm saying? Do you stand on the bag? You know what I'm saying? Julio chose not to. I admire that. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it costs him, you know what I'm saying? Win or lose, it's his decision. And if he win, that's a beautiful thing. If he lose, he can't blame nobody but himself, and that's something he can live with. You feel what I'm saying? That's something he can live with. Me as a 57-year-old man, and as I feel like a dinosaur, man, in this world that we live in with the social media and all these different things. Y'all are consistent in what y'all do. And y'all don't deviate from what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? And that's something to be admired, man. That's something to be admired. And I am inspired by y'all four cats, man. I'm inspired by that. And my son and my daughters. You know what I'm saying? I'm admired by that. And my nieces, nephews. You know what I'm saying? And y'all seem to not seem, because that's, you know what I'm saying, if I'm gonna take a stance on something, I'm gonna take a stance on the words that y'all speak. And that's man shit. You understand what I'm saying? And I believe it. You know what I'm saying? I believe it. And in a roundabout way, I'm promoting y'all shit when I speak y'all name. And I say, hey man, my cousin David got this. I just met this young brother by way of marriage, Judah. That's my little cousin. You know what I'm saying? Julio, I've been knowing Julio since you was 9 years old or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Lil Keith, you know what I'm saying? Y'all consistent with y'all shit because y'all been grinding, man. You know what I'm saying? And one day, y'all gonna get that bag. And I hope that y'all have to make that decision. You understand what I'm saying? I hope y'all have to make that decision. Whether or not you got to give up your integrity or take the bag. I hope you in that position to do that. Because when you look at everyday life, people living everyday life, most of us ain't gonna get that chance, man. And it's all gonna be predicated and based on what y'all create. You understand what I'm saying? And let's not miss that. Everybody on here, all four of you guys creating something from your own personal self. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's going to understand that until you stick to who you are and you deliver it to the world. Whether or not they accept it, that's on them. But at least you have the courage to do that shit within yourself. And you are being led by your integrity, your creativity. You know what I'm saying? All those things. That's what you're being led by. And y'all, all four of y'all are black men. And y'all an example. Y'all an example for other people to follow. and pay attention to. You worth paying attention to. So that being said, man, I'm gonna need some shirts, man, and some sweatshirts and shit and all that. Y'all want to, you know,
Yeah, for
Hey,
sure.
that's what's
Nah,
up.
You already know,
because
man.
hey, I'm
You already
six
know.
five. Here's what y'all need to understand. Just on the marketing thing, I'm 6'5". I'm a billboard. I'm a
That's
billboard.
right. That's
You
right.
understand what I'm saying? And this like you see this in my hair. You
Hmm.
know how many people come up to me and talk about this shit? Strangers. I can't go nowhere without somebody talking to me about that. This can translate into your product. Yeah, man, this shit grow natural. But hey, man, you see this joint here? This day one shit. This book of numbers shit. This, you know what I'm saying? I'm a
you know,
billboard. That's how you do
Right.
that shit, man.
and the thing, to follow that real quick, because I think Uncle Spo's question was really important, because it's talking about networking and connections. You get what I'm saying? For all four of us that's
Exactly.
on here, you know, understanding how important that is for us, and how we utilize our connections and networking into our business and implementing that so we can win. I want y'all to actually speak on that real quick. I can go first real quick. Uh, I think that it's very important. Who you have in your circle. As far as the people that you meet, like you said, David, yesterday about going to a concert and meeting the guy that you were singing a song with, or you might have
Yep.
your clothes and you might you go backstage and you meet Uzi Vert or Babyface Ray. You know what I'm saying? These type of people, and they do support because of the conversation that you did say to them that moment, or it might be later on. I think that's a very important thing. Cause I give you a story. When I was in Raleigh, me and my partner went to this EDM festival. I had one of the, for my last collection, I had a puffer jacket. Our goal was to give it to the headliner and DJ, and we had no real way of meeting her. We just wanted to give it to her. You know what I'm saying? We had no expectation. You know, and I just knew in the back of my head, I said, I'm gonna give this to her. She's gonna get this from us, And after the show, we went, we found a way to get backstage, and somebody gave it to her. That was on her team. She came back outside and gave us hugs and took pictures with us and said she loved it. You get what I'm saying? In that moment right there, I'm like, damn, that shit is crazy because we didn't know how we was gonna do it. We just got it done, And I'll say months go by, she's in Alaska with us too. You get what I'm saying? And she's supporting us and going to different concerts, wearing different clothes that we did, and that's how we built our relationship. I think it's very important. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Networking is one of the biggest tools you can have, especially in the world we're in, like the business world. Like network can get you in rooms money can't, and it just bring you a long way. Because a lot of people I'm with now came off of networking. Like, I'm low key like building a team. The more I keep going, because you pop up in these different rooms, and you find out different people where they can how y'all can benefit off each other. They always gotta make sense for each other. So you don't want to just and you gotta speak to everybody. You gotta speak to everybody. Saying, like, I had noticed that too. I had to start speaking to everybody because it could be somebody you don't know. Let them walk by. And you see them 2 months later, it might be a plug. Just throwing the opportunity for it. So I believe I stand on that too.
Yeah, I think networking is the number one important thing, but networking isn't just about using another person for their service. It's about the impression you give, it's about your reputation because even if you meet somebody and y'all end up in the same room and they like you that night, they may do their own research on you to figure out other situations you've been in, other people you've dealt with. So that backstory means something as well, even before you even get in that room to interact and network. So I think the number one key is, like keeping your energy at a certain level, keeping the people around you at a grounded level. You know what I'm saying? Either everybody's not the same, of course, but you share similar qualities. So it's easy for you to move around and keep things intact because in business, Like I feel like reputation is the number one thing. You know, like who is your brand? What has your brand done for people? How did your brand make people feel? How did you make people feel? You know, like if it was a situation where it was money involved in something, how did you handle that? You know, like all of these things tie in together. You know, like you can walk in a room and meet somebody super famous and they can guarantee you anything that night and then find out something about you that they don't necessarily want to align with, and now it's useless. So, you know, like you can get in these rooms, you can be next to these people, you know, but you just have to make sure that you're giving off the right impression. You know, so I think that just goes back to like energy and just the confidence you have in yourself, the confidence you have in your brand, you know, whatever it is you're selling, your slogan, you got to stand on it. You know, every day you walk out of your house, that's the slogan you standing on. And when it's organic, it's not hard to do. You know, like it's a lot of people that sell things that they don't even really live by or they don't believe themselves, so it's hard to articulate it. You know, like I can talk about this every day because I really live it every day. You know, like it's a part of me. So it's not hard for me to get on here and do this or even bump into a stranger. Like I went to the bar a few weeks ago and I had on one of my day ones only hoodies and that sparked the conversation because someone noticed it and liked it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's all these things tying together, man. You know, you just got to make sure that you're giving off the right impression and everything is in aligning. So once you get to that point where you meet that right person, you know, nothing can come from this but fruition. You know, living out the dream.
I mean, me, I agree with all three of the guys, on the panel. Um, networking is important. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, the way I rub off on people, the way people rub off on me, and the way we sit, like one of my cousins when I lived in Texas, he used to when I first moved down there, like when I went down there, I was like hair wasn't cut, face, beard, like halfway there or whatever. I was looking all kind of bummy or whatever. And like he was one of the people that like turned me around. And like one of the things that he would have me do, he we went to this bar. He had me go and buy the person a drink and then ask them what they do. You know what I'm saying? And that was a way of me, learning a lot about people, and drawing people in at the same time. So yeah, networking and all that stuff is, it's important.
All right, well, look, it's been a very enlightening episode. I think you guys, especially, with what you offered us in the beginning and also the questions that you were asked, people were able to learn a lot about who you are as people and what you're about because that was the whole point. That was the whole point of you guys coming on to really be able to, even though you do have experience, I'm sure you have experience with podcasts and selling yourself, but just on this small platform, just to be able to give you something for another outlet, you know what I mean? And I want to thank you guys for coming on because really and truly, you enhanced this podcast by coming on and speaking your mind and being the genuine people that you are. That's important. That's very important. I learned a lot today.
Thank you for having me.
You know,
Hey,
learned
can I
a
say
lot of
something?
No doubt.
a lot
No doubt.
about you guys and appreciate it. Go ahead, man.
I want to first I want to thank y'all for having me on. You know what I'm saying? Um, I got like my own personal viewers. My kids been watching. You know what I'm saying? My girl, she watching. You know what I'm saying? Love y'all. But one of the things that I want to say, before we close out is I want everybody to understand that your imagination is the most powerful asset that you have. You know what I'm saying? And like whatever you do, whatever your passion or whatever, stick to it. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't gonna be pretty. It ain't gonna be the best. It's gonna be some scrapes. You're gonna lose money. You're gonna waste money. You're gonna do everything. You know what I'm saying? But stick to your motherfucking process. You know what I'm saying? Nip said like he ain't tried to build a wall in a day. He just laid the brick every day. You know what I'm saying? And then he looked up and he had the wall. You know what I'm saying? He said he wasn't no different from anybody else. He just didn't quit. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that we can't do. You know what I'm saying? We cannot quit on our passion. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that I try to get my kids to possess. You know what I'm saying? If you love it, stick to it. You know what I'm saying? And just ride it out until you get you wherever you want to be. If it don't get you there. But the last thing that you want to do when you leave this earth is have regret. You know what I'm saying? Do what you plan on doing. You know what I'm saying? Do what makes you happy. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? And make sure you keep your imagination open and just live.
Facts.
Feed the soul. Feed
Thanks.
the soul. It'll translate to the world.
All
That's
right.
right.
Well,
So,
Yes, sir.
anybody else? Last words?
I appreciate y'all also. It's an honor to be on here. You chop it up again. Appreciate it.
Hey,
Mhm.
basically, viewers out there, if you can like, share, and subscribe to us, we definitely appreciate it because what we try to do, just like I say, is an everyday conversation for everyday people. And the art of conversation is not dead. It's just overshadowed by sensationalism, period. So sometimes the loudest voice is the only voice that's heard. Sometimes just sitting around just promoting this interaction with each other makes more sense than anything else. And that's the truth about it. But like I said, like, share, and subscribe at our YouTube channel. And as we were going throughout this episode, each person that got up and spoke, you saw all the information where their website to get their merch, and also if you want to reach out to them, that is very important. I wanted to make sure that that got out to people so everybody would understand. And we extended this to 2 hours for a reason because I wanted these gentlemen to get exactly what they needed out. Because sometimes, even though you may not have needed us, it's still good to have your tools sharpened. Period.
Yeah.
That's just it, and that's our goal, and that's who we are. You know,
Hey, support these 4 young brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? They
yeah,
about their shit.
yeah, because it's very important. And when it comes to family, and it's not an adversarial thing, word of mouth, family. Talk to your friends. It won't cost you a thing. Talk to your friends.
Support these. Support these
Tell them
brothers.
about these young men, what they're doing, what they're trying to do, what they're about. Okay? And
Yeah. Shout out Strong Perspective. Shout out Day One Only. Shout out Star Coast. Shout out Hardaway. Shout out Book Anonymous, man.
Well,
Absolutely.
hey,
Facts.
straight
Facts.
up
Yes,
and down
sir.
right there.
Yes, sir.
well,
We
look,
Get
all
at
we
these. Get
all
at
been
these
doing it.
brothers.
Yes, I
like I
appreciate
We
y'all.
need
said,
to get
Everybody,
everybody get at y'all too. You know what I'm saying? Like we all
everybody,
doing something.
everybody, keep it up, man. Everybody,
oh
keep it
yeah,
up, man.
and
You
and
know.
I'm gonna tell you now, and I'm sure y'all know this. You need me, let me know. I got you
For
Appreciate
sure.
as best
Vice
I
versa.
can.
it.
I got you.
Vice versa.
There's no doubt about that.
I'm y'all billboard, man.
Uh,
Got it. Appreciate you.
we get ready to end this
Hey,
process.
hey,
Stay up.
for the other three, I'm sorry, but my three bros right here, like man, I want to stay like in contact with y'all. You know what I'm saying? And like
Oh yeah.
to continue, to keep moving forward with the three of y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
For
Like
sure.
Dave, you right here in Michigan, right?
Yep, I'm in Michigan. Yep.
Yep. See, like, shoot,
Mm.
we gonna have to link or something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you said you in Battle Creek, right? About is it
Yep.
Battle Creek or Alvin? Okay.
Battle Creek.
That's about that's about an hour and a half.
That's what I'm
Yep.
talking about. That's real right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
we're gonna go ahead and end this thing. I'm gonna say it again: like, share, and subscribe. It's good to see your pictures required. You're doing the robot over there, brother. So, and let me tell you something. You gave some great damn questions, bro. Even though we didn't hear you actually say it,
He had to bump our head though.
yeah, it was good. It was great. It was great questions, bro. Like
Outside,
I
man.
said, guys, stay on. We get ready to end this live. I'm gonna let y'all go as soon as we get off this live. But this is a Strong Perspective podcast. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll see y'all next Friday.
All right.
Appreciate